Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. We're back at the movies for another review. This time we're going to be taking another subscriber request. 2003's suspense drama, The Hunted, directed by William Friedkin, who, if the name doesn't sound familiar, he is responsible for some amazing movies, including the likes of The Exorcist, another underrated movie, Bug. A very, very talented director. And this movie is actually very, very underrated. You know, what I enjoy about this movie is it actually, and it had been a while since I'd seen it. I'd seen bits and pieces of it here and there, but, you know, rewatching it, you forget how good it actually is. What I love about Friedkin as a director is he takes almost a minimalist approach to directing. You don't need a huge cast to make a quality movie. And in this one, it really comes down to three key actors and then, you know, obviously a lot of smaller roles. Benicio del Toro, Tommy Lee Jones, and Connie Nielsen. And all three are spectacular in their own right, in the movie and in their careers. They've all had long, very successful careers. What I like about this movie is that it actually takes like elements from different movies that worked so well and you put them together. You know, you have elements of Rambo where John Rambo's character, you know, serves in Vietnam, witnesses some horrendous things, and when he comes home, he can't turn it off. You know, he's suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And Benicio del Toro's character is trained to assassinate people in a stealthy, efficient way, and once he's no longer required to do that, or not so much required, but, you know, he's not permitted to do it, he can't turn it off. So even things that shouldn't affect him do. And the same with, you know, it's similar to Rambo. And what makes Rambo, the First Blood, work so well is that it's the simplicity of it. You know, little things make him feel like he's getting tortured like he did in the past. And Del Toro's character can't turn off his past life. And where Rambo and The Hunted differ is the man who trained Rambo is only brought in to talk him down. In The Hunted, Tommy Lee Jones, who trained Del Toro to do what he did so well, is tasked essentially with taking him down personally. And you have that old school versus new school mentality, and, you know, who gets the upper hand. You know, and the reality is, as good as you are at something, you might have been trained by the absolute best person ever at that task. They're not teaching you everything they know. They're teaching you almost everything they know, because then you're giving away your competitive advantage. And that's what you see with the climax of this movie, which takes place similarly to Rambo in a, you know, wooded, secluded area. And that's what, it just keeps everything to a minimalist, you know, perspective. And that's what makes it such an enjoyable movie. It's an intense movie. It really is. And the hand-to-hand combat, what Tommy Lee Jones doesn't get credit for is how easy he makes it look when he's in these movies that involve intense hand-to-hand combat. You know, one movie that sticks out to me is Under Siege, where you're obviously facing off against a master of Aikido in Steven Seagal, and he looks fluid in, you know, Aikido is obviously a lot of momentum, and is, that's how you counter your opponent. And he until he meets his demise, handles himself very well. And even at an older, you could really say that this is the type of movie that like is kind of like a jumping off point for older actors to be action stars. Now, there's a lot of intense hand-to-hand action sequences, and Tommy Lee Jones shows how badass he can be. So huge credit. I mean, the man's won an Oscar, so clearly he is a master of his craft. And I'm glad I got to rewatch it, and I'm glad it was requested because I really do enjoy the movie. It takes elements of different movies that I very much enjoy. First Blood, a little bit of Full Metal Jacket, a little bit of Under Siege, or any real Steven Seagal movie where it's a lot of hand-to-hand combat, although it's a different type of martial arts that they're using. It's a Filipino martial arts. It still translates awesomely onto the big screen. So for all those reasons, it's a quality movie. Is it a great movie? That's hard to say. It's a very good movie. So I'm confident in giving it a 7.6. It's a good quality, suspenseful, almost elegant movie with a small cast, but there's a lot of intensity to it. So 2003's The Hunted, directed by William Friedkin. 7.6 is my score. If you haven't subscribed and you like this video, please consider subscribing. And I'll see you guys next time at the movies. Take care.